Hello, today I'm coming back with another analysis to learn technical analysis via price action method. As usual, I go to the news. Now I found this just news almost yesterday on Bitcoin. It says that analysts fear Bitcoin death cross could spell trouble. Okay, these key points are what I really interested to go over. A Bitcoin death cross has appeared, which typically signifies a very short-term outlook. Okay, a negative short-term news. Crypto confidence has also been shaken by concerns surrounding crypto bank silverage. So, long-term concern on this Bitcoin or and totally these cryptocurrencies. Some analysts have pointed out that this cross can be an unreliable signal. So some of them also thinking that, oh, it is not that much important. It is not uh, that's enough. Some bad news. Some of those analysts also are still they are hopeful. Let's jump into the chart. Uh, as always, I really like to um, start with an empty chart because this is a price action. As I always mention, we want to focus on the price itself. Start from weekly. Yeah, looking at the weekly chart is not going to show you the current situation in the market, but having an understanding, a good understanding of the history can, of course, help us to understand what is going on at the moment. um, don't zoom out a lot when you're on these big time frames. Just few last waves are enough. I can see some sort of an impulsive. We know that during the last years, Bitcoin increased a lot, but also some sort of reversal here or some sort of correction to this whole wave. So that's why I start my analysis. Maybe this is if we can this level as the first of this impulsive wave uptrend bullish momentum. Let's just make it accurate and put it exactly on the top. I can see that, yeah, it seems that it was a bullish market, bullish impulsive uptrend, I mean, and also correction to 78 percentage point 8 point 6. And it is a really huge correction. Maybe this was the fourth wave, but it reacted on this golden ratio of these Fibonacci levels, 61.8 percentage of the correction. But okay, this is yeah, we should if that was the case, we had to just jump here and try to um, measure this from this top. Um, but anyhow, we know that there was another wave uh, here, and yeah, now we can see that 78%, oh, also some even more, we had this correction. So let's get rid of that. That's good. Let's just try to find a support zone here because it is a very important support zone at the moment. I can see that we had some sort of resistances here. Maybe on a daily chart we can see some support because I can see a red uh, candle just return and retest after the breakout. If I just make this zone a little bit wider, I can see that also we had, after just breaking out, it is behaving as support according to polarity principle. And let's call out just to remember that it is a 78 percentage of feeble level. And when I'm seeing these, I really scared that if it is really a correction, because it's a huge correction, 78 percentage of the actual impulsive wave, we are it is corrected. Usually the normal ratio, as I said, is 61, and sometimes when the DC impulsive is so powerful, we might see a reversal or end of the correction on a lower lower Fibonacci levels like 68, 50, somewhere here, and return back, continue the momentum to to sky high. But this is not the case here, 78 percentage. I guess it is enough. I'm more interested into the last action here. Let me just dive into this daily uh, chart. Let's zoom out a little bit to take a look at, okay, what is this? Is it really a correction? What I'm saying here, um, I can see one wave. This is some sort of correction. This is a third wave. Okay, some sort of correction again, and this small one can be the fifth wave, and also reversal. So I can see that it has been reversed. Let's just let me just count these waves. This is not correct, to be honest. Just clarify at the beginning, but I want to show you what was the roadmap that I went through when I was analyzing this. So initially, I exactly counted these as something like that. And I'm happy with the first wave. I can see almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves here. I can see some sort of zigzag, a sharp correction, um, something like ABC. The third wave is so important for me because it is the most powerful one, and I can obviously see its 5 waves as well. I can completely see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me just change the colors. And also, this is a minor one, just waves inside the third wave. Uh, just align them a little bit. Always have problem with aligning these stuffs on the chart. Okay, let's just also not overlapping with each other, these guys. Okay, that's good. Now I can see these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. And some sort of a correction. I can see that it was a zigzag. Let me just clarify this as well. The second wave, it wasn't some sort of ABC. This is also a minor one. The waves inside are my second wave. So for the third wave, I had this ABC as the second wave, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a third wave. Because the first correction, second wave, was actually a zigzag and or a sharp correction. I'm expecting these, according to Elliott's wave theory. I'm expecting that at least fourth wave, something it's like here. This should be some sort of a side wave correction. At the first glance, I can see that it is some sort of a running flat. It is a flat. This is the bottom of the flat, and this is the top of the flat. And I can say this is going to be, and okay, another A, B, C, but this was a running flat. And after this A, B, C, this C didn't reach out to the same level of what A just reached in the previous action. And price just continued dropping down to create the fifth wave. So I will leave it as this, but again, I'm not really happy about this part. But let's just continue. We just zoom out a lot this daily to understand what is happening, the details of that impulsive wave. What I can see here after we reach this fifth wave, let me just bring them into my screen. This was the last wave. And I can see, I now in the daily chart, I can see it was just some sort of a triple or double bottom pattern. So reversal, I can see that reversal. Let's also just align these here. But I can now continue these somewhere here. I know that this is a resistance zone. Price reacted to these levels to this level several times, one there and 2 times here. So now just recently about the news, if I want to come back to the news recently, we can see that we had some sort of a double top. Um, Anyhow, after this double top, seems that it is reversing back. Let me just um, clarify these. I will come back to those waves just a little bit later, but let's try to understand what is happening at the moment. If I draw something like that, I'm seeing some sort, not some sort this time, it is a rising wedge. This is happening when an uptrend is just starting to be done. You can see that the upper trend, the lower trend line and the upper trend line, there's some sort of symmetrical. Seems as soon as they are going to cross each other somewhere here, and this is called rising wedge, and we have a breakout on that. You can see that it has been broken, and also some sort of retest to that. Not that much detail, but also after retest, we can see it continues its momentum to downside. So it is confirming that it was a breakout. Let me just clarify this by saying that this is a breakout. Also, I can bring up my MACD. We usually don't use indicators when it comes to technical, sorry, when it comes to price action method, because as I said, in price action, we only look at the price itself, but I use one of these oscillators. I really like MACD to just as a confirmation to the end of my trend. I can see a very strong divergence here. I can just clarify it by saying a strong divergence. And you can see that, yeah, price just created another higher high in comparison to the previous one on a support, on a very important resistance zone, but MACD just created a lower high, and this is called divergence. And as you can see, it went up, it goes down, it creates some sort of divergence, of course, obviously. So this is another signal so that it is going to be reversal. So far, we had a pattern, a double top. We had divergence, a rising wedge, a breakout, its return, confirmation, returning, and also as the final of this last wave, it seems to be in some sort of ABC. It seems that okay, this ABC it is done, the correction, um, but we have several indications that it is the end of this uptrend. Let's get rid of these things and let's keep that trend line because I want to come back to that. I'm not fan of. I just draw it to show you that rising wedge. Let me clean up my chart. I really don't like. I've always talk about these trend lines because they seems to be so easy to draw, but also very easy to misunderstand them. This is not a valid trend line because you can see it's a very huge gap first here, and not about the gap, but I have missed a major lower low, and this is not I really like about this trend line. Also, it has a very high angle when it comes to breakouts, I'm usually fan of a trend line like this. This is more valid. I'm not missing any major lower in between. Yeah, I can see something here, but not related to the trend itself. So this is what I really like to check when it comes to this kind of breakouts. And I can see again, I have a breakout here. I don't want, I can again call out, put a circle here to show you, but it is clear. I'm not going to do so. Just wanted to show you uh, that that just that trend line that with a high angle was there just for clarifying the rising wedge, not uh, the actual trend line and the breakout. Anyhow, we have several indication about that it might be a reversal. Let me just bring that again because I'm going to be close to my conclusion. I know that I still not finished my discussion about those waves, still upcoming. But let's clarify this breakout. As a short term, we know that we found several um, confirmation that this is the end of this uptrend. So we are also seeing that breakout. In the short term, my expectation is that yes, maybe we are going to have some sort of correction or retest to this structure and then returning back. For the short term, it is better to go to the hourly chart. I'm going to have a better view there, I guess. So now I can actually draw this line more accurately. That's one of the other benefits of just doing so. I can see that how many times the here I can put arrows as well. Here, almost here with a little gap. Next one is here, and also you can see after this reaching this level, it is just moving around it, and finally it is broken. So as the short term, what I'm expecting is some sort of, as I'm showing here, some sort of retest to the previous structure or zone here, and then continuing the momentum, uh, the bearish to somewhere close to the previous structure or previous zone. I can just draw something here. This is my short conclusion about short-term conclusion for these. About midterm, I will go back to daily. Let's clean the chart. I can see price has been in the uh, in this actually some sort of a range market. From last year, it is just moving around between two levels. So this is the range market here. And so for the range term, because I'm seeing a reversal, I have actually confirmed that with several indications. My midterm will be that price will actually go back to this level, which we know it is a very strong historical support zone, 78 percentage of feeble level as well. But what about this fifth? Is it actually what about the long term? If I go back to the weekly chart, um, what about these waves? It is possible that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then okay, one ABC. Is it enough for to be continued? Is it going to be continued to downside? As some of the analysts in the news, they were thinking that it is not going to be so good. Yeah, in the short term, we can confirm that on our chart, but uh, okay, not the correct one. If I just want to check how much after this long impulsive, as if it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see that this correction, it has not reached even the first level, 23.6. So how can it be a correction for the next long run impulsive bearish downside momentum? it, it seems that something is not correct. Let's get rid of these. Let's just go to this daily to take a closer look at this wave. Yeah, I said that this is the third wave, but I also said that I'm not happy about this fifth wave because I'm not seeing this as the fifth wave. I'm still thinking this is an impulsive because it is a very huge uh, um, actually correction from in the weekly view. It doesn't mean that any time we reach 78 percentage of FIBO, this is not going to be a correction. Yes, of course, corrections can be done to this level, but we also know that this is a huge correction. So when I'm seeing these huge corrections, I'm also going to this theory that maybe this is not correction at all. Maybe it is an impulsive wave that had that power to to return this much. Because in technical analysis, in Elliott wave theory, when just a price move up on a bullish impulsive, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, coming back to this weekly chart again, this impulsive wave here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how you want to count it, if it is the end of that whole primary uptrend, then you are not expecting, always you should not expect 1, 2, 3. This might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm also seeing that this is not 1, 2, 3, because after this 1, 2, 3, I'm seeing some sort of flat here. So if it wasn't 1, 2, 3, why it is not just returning? What is this? How can I interpret this from the Elias perspective? So coming back, what I want to say, that was a long story, but short. I'm not seeing this as the fifth wave. So this is not the force. I'm saying, just what I'm saying, we are still in the corrective structure. How we can interpret that? Because when we actually ended up to this third wave, we had some kind of a B3. We said it's a running flat, and we said this is the final. But I don't guess. Just get rid of these. I guess this is my B. This was A, this was B, because this is a flat, and this is C, no running flat. It's a completely regular flat, and the side waves takes more longer because they are ranged, they are slower than a zigzag, something like this here, ABC, and it is done, boom, the third wave. These side wave corrections, they take much longer, as we can see here, and I'm feeling that this support, this resistance zone that we talked about, it was one of our important signals for the reversal of this, as we talked about for the mid range. This is going to be exactly the same if we want to interpret it with this Elias wave. So this is a flat. The whole is the side wave correction, the force. We still have not reached the 5. If there is going to be a pair, so this is A, this is B, this is C. So in the long term, coming back to our last conclusion for the long term, if that's the case, now we are expecting that the long term should go somewhere like this. So after our mid range to the previous level, so we are expecting that the fifth wave just get created. That's one scenario. But also, I have talked about these flats several times in my previous streams as well, that they cannot be a single ABC. They can be, I have assumed that Elliott uh, double combo wave, that maybe this whole ABC will be an W, and then we are going to have an X as the link, and another ABC should be get formed and just continue being ranged for a more longer time. So if that's the case, as you can see, after this X, if it is going to be our X, which I'm guessing we are going to have this X, doesn't matter if it is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the fifth wave, or 1, 2, 3 as the X, we are going to have this mid-range arrow. But for the long term, depending to what kind of uh, uh, what kind of wave it is going to be created, we have two possibilities: one breakout to create our last wave, fifth wave here, or a link and returning back to top to the same zone to creating a double, or so maybe a triple combo, because we have also, let me just show you earlier triple combo wave. So it might be a very longer uh, uh, range market. So we have that, sorry, not drawing it correctly. We had that these ABC as my W, then the X, then another ABC as Y. We can have another X and another one to Z. I need to just move it a little bit here to show you exactly what I meant. So it can be a more longer. So if I go back to the news, I can see some of them saying that, okay, we are so concerned, yeah, about the short term. You can obviously see on the chart it is reversing. It is a short term outlook. to the downside to that very important historical 78% feeble level. But some analysis also saying that no, it is not that much important. So this kind of balance between buyers and sellers, it can create these kind of uh, actually um, flats that can be doubled or tripled. Let's clean up the chart. So just to finalize, another time I will go back to this 4 hour. Uh, just let me zoom out a little bit. So we talked about this breakout, this trend line as a short term. So we are going to have this short term uh, on Bitcoin that if this correction has been done, we have some sort of breakout. Probably we are going short time, some sort of a retest and coming back, reversing back to this previous zone, somewhere close to this ratio, to this level. In a midterm, going back to daily, regardless what is happening in those minor waves, we are going to have a downside or down bearish momentum to as the continuation of the flat to our very strong support zone. But the long term is that depending to if it is a double, it is a combo flat, we are going to have an X and another ABC, or it is going to actually break this support zone to actually continue its the main very long weekly impulsive wave to break out this important zone and completes its impulsive. And if that will be the case, which we might come back to that maybe 1 year later to see if it is the case. But if that's the case, then we will get sure that it was not a correction. It was the end of this impulsive big wave, and another impulsive wave just started, and that's not good. That's not going to be a good news for this cryptocurrency. Thank you very much for watching. I think I'm done for this analysis. I'm going to have another one probably later today. But if you have any question about what you just see here, I have a Discord channel. You can ask your questions. This is going to be up on YouTube as well. If you want, you can watch rewatch it there and put comments if you have any feedback. I'm open to hear. But for now, thank you for watching my stream and have a nice day.